Valuing our personal identities. As part of this week's online learning module, we ask you each to complete the Strengths Quest assessment as well as a values exercise. We hope these two self-guided tools provide insight into your personal leadership style. One key component of being a successful person is knowing who you are and taking pride in your personal values and identity. It is in this spirit that we created this video. I'm Mandy Ellertson and I work with ASPCC. I want to share a story about the third President of the United States. Thomas Jefferson understood the importance of the values of sensitivity and professionalism. Being a professional entails respecting others around you and those you need to work with in order to meet goals and solve problems. In 1807, Jefferson was involved in a diplomatic situation with a Tunisian representative. Sidi Solomon Meli Meli arrived in Washington, D.C. with his Tunisian envoy to discuss matters of international importance. American ships were being raided on the Barbary Coast, and Jefferson needed to resolve this problem. Meli Meli, a Muslim, was practicing Ramadan, the Islamic ritual of fasting in the day during a specific holy month. In order to host a meal for his guests, Jefferson had to change his pattern and move the meal from a luncheon to a sunset dinner. This was done out of sensitivity for the guests' culture and values. Living in a pluralistic society means that we need to be sensitive and aware of others around us. We also need to know ourselves. So, who in the hell is Mandy? Well, one of my values that I learned in life was to value knowledge and education. My parents were both first-generation college students. My father earned his degree through the GI Bill after World War II, and my mother took advantage of the community college down the road and earned her degree the same year I graduated from high school. Both of my parents valued advancement and wanted us to have options in life. As a result, my siblings and I all have higher degrees and found success in our careers. My life experiences also taught me to be sensitive to others. My brother came out to our family in 1988 as a young man, but before that he was tortured by a society that didn't accept his sexuality. As a result, I became attuned to people who are marginalized by social constructs, and I am passionate about equity. The last value I want to share with you is how much I embrace love. A huge part of my identity is that of a family member and an educator. I adore my husband, children, and extended family, and I'm fortunate enough to say that I love the work I do and the students I serve. I look forward to getting to know you all, and now I'd like to introduce to you Delinda Huggins Martin, who's going to introduce herself.
Thank you, Mandy. Hi, I'm Delinda Martin Huggins, the Assistant Coordinator for the Student Leadership Office. A few of my values include achievement, responsibility, and independence. My family came from humble backgrounds. Both of my parents grew up during the Great Depression in families that struggled with providing their children with basic necessities and at times were unsuccessful at keeping their family unit together. My parents met at a migrant field worker camp in Huron, California, where they were picking beans. They married and spent many years traveling with the crops, and eventually with children in tow. Consequently, I grew up picking berries with my family and assisting in the fields when my parents rented a plot of land to grow their own. My father was adamant that his children worked hard and were efficient at what they do. I don't know how many times I heard my father say, "Pick with both hands. If you're going to pick, pick with both hands." I had a habit of picking with one hand and resting the other arm on my knee, so I heard this a lot. This was his way of telling us if you're going to do something, do it right. He also made sure he told us be willing to learn anything someone else is willing to teach you. You never know when you're going to need that as a tool in your future. Through example and verbal reinforcement, my parents taught me tenacity, and a belief I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. I applied this value of achievement in many aspects of life, including education. Although both my parents have grade school educations, I became the first in my family to have a college degree. I hope that my example will lead my children to a college education. While my family worked hard, we also learned how to have fun in our time together. I feel I need to set the example for others that we can work hard and have fun at the same time. I believe it is both my privilege and responsibility to enjoy my family and provide opportunities for them to laugh and de-stress in their lives. The last value I want to discuss with you is independence. I enjoy being the slightly odd person in the crowd, and it's okay for me to be independent and be a little different than the rest of the group. And I love having a career that gives me freedom to express who I am. I'm honored to work with many unique individuals with diverse backgrounds and cultures, just like you. So how about you? What are your values? How did your identity and your values intertwine? Tell us about it.